Hey guys, here's another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Kamen Rider action figure, Kamen Rider Gavv PoppinGummy form from Kamen Rider Gavv. This is the standard action figure for Gavv's main form. Includes 3 alternate hands and 1 weapon. So, let's get started. And here we have Kamen Rider Gavv in his PoppinGummy form. So let's take a closer look. So just at first glance, the first thing you notice is just how much paint is on this figure. So looking at the general overview, you can see that it has the base suit, which is mainly black and silver, but then also this very colorful armor that is done up in purple, blue, and yellow. Taking a look at the head. It's got this pretty plain looking helmet, but then it has this sort of mask on the front with some very nicely colored details. Coming around to the body, we've got the various armor pieces, which, while hard on the figure, are meant to be actually soft and a gummy-like texture. You can see that they all have a very nice gradation, so that the colors flow into one another. We have the Gavv belt, which actually does have a good amount of red paint on it, though the PoppinGummy Gochido inside isn't painted, but it still has some nice mold on detail. We've got the Gochido holder on the side, with a Gochido set in. You can see that some pieces of armor kind of look like they're screwed on. Coming down to the feet, has these interestingly clawed toes on the boots. What's even more incredible in front is the fact that the paint actually continues onto the back. So you can see the paint on the shoulders goes all the way, the belt is painted all the way around, and all the painted detail that you can see in front is indeed continued onwards, and you still have more of that detail here on the back. Articulation-wise, it's also very impressive. Starting with head, it's got a nice ball joint, has a wide range of movement. Going into the shoulders, these upper shoulder pieces are articulated, as well as the hinged shoulders on the actual arms themselves, allowing for a wide range of movement upwards. The actual shoulder itself is on a ball joint as well, so it can move around. Rotate it a pretty decent amount. It does have a swivel joint within the shoulder as well to allow for that movement. Have a bicep swivel. Pretty solid single joint elbows. Ball joint for the wrist. Does have a ball joint for the torso, as well as a waist swivel. For legs, go forward and back, in and out. Have a thigh swivel, pretty deep single joint knees, as well as ball joint ankles. So pretty impressive for a standard action figure. Then as far as the accessories go, we've got the hands here, which includes 1 hand for holding his weapon, as well as 2 fists. Speaking of said weapon, it is the Gavv blade. This is unpainted black plastic, but you can see that there's a lot of nice detail to it. Everything here is properly molded. You can see even the road markers and everything is detailed on the back too. And it is impressive that it isn't hollowed out on the back, so it does feel pretty substantial. So change out one of the hands, just pop it off the wrist, and then plug the new one in. Let me just try to do that off camera. Just a moment. I like to make a cut here. So, with the replacement hand attached, and then take the sword and just insert it in like this. It does have quite a solid grip on it. You can get him into various poses. Like a stabbing pose with the sword. Or if we move around by a bit more and adjust the legs, I'm positioned for a rider kick. And it does hold the poses quite well, as the joints are all pretty tight. So something like this can make for a good pose. And there we go. So overall this is a very solid figure, but it's also made me really stop and think about the way that the Kamen Rider standard action figure series have been going in the past few years, and I feel like they've kind of been on a general decline ever since Saber, where that was the first year where we had an action figure line that just kind of abruptly stopped partway through the series, and we never got to some of the later power forms and final forms as we had with previous series. So, that was kind of a sign that things were not doing so well for those types of figures. And then that kind of continued on with Revice's Revice Remix figure series, where that one only had about 3 releases and then just stopped there. And then with the Revolve Chain series for Geats that followed it, that one is an interesting case because while on the resale side of things we only had about 3 releases, that line has also seen a lot of success continuing on Premium Bandai, where it has continued long past the end of the series, but I think that also has a lot to do with the popularity of Geats in general. And that one is kind of surprising to me because it is cool that you get all the forms that you can make in different combinations, but I do think that line was hindered by the fact that it included extra joints for those transformations that made the figures, in my opinion, somewhat unstable and hard to balance. And then for last year, where we had Gotchard and the revival of the Soshak Henshin series, that one also didn't perform well since, once again, it had only 3 retail releases and then stopped. So it seems like they're definitely taking a new approach this year, where they're just trying to make a good, solid action figure and not going so much for the gimmick side of things. Which is interesting to me because, I think a lot of people, or at least some people, have said that these kind of standard figures are like a budget version of SH Figure Arts, and most of the time I refute that since I believe with those figure lines, a lot more of it has been about, the gimmicks and playability, but in the case of this, I feel like that is an apt comparison because, again, this is pretty much just a figure with some accessories and a weapon, and, a solid amount of paint articulation. So, this is not going to have too many releases to it, I can tell, but I will definitely still be continuing this line, and if you're looking for a nice solid figure for Gavv PoppinGummy form, and you either don't want to wait for the SH Figure Arts, or maybe you want this as something to tide you over until that one gets released, I can certainly recommend picking this up. Next time I'll be reviewing the Deluxe Rare Gochizo Set 2, and the Deluxe Maison Gochizo and Bubble Ramen Gochizo So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KRAF 50, writing off.